What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And Bitcoin is flying right now off of some Trump tariff news. By the time you're watching this, you'll probably know this already, but somehow the money flow and the volume profiles were able to know this news before it happened. Pretty interesting. So I wanted to drop this quick update for you guys, give you the next targets I'm looking at to the upside. Are we going to see this pump continued? What is Market Cypher B saying? I want to let you guys know everything that I'm looking at and what I'm expecting next here on Bitcoin. So without further ado, I'm going to try to make it a really quick one. So let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. So guys, here we are on the Bitcoin chart. Now I want to talk about some of the upper targets that I'm looking at here for Bitcoin. Now in the Discord, guys, earlier we were talking about this green dot printing on the 16-hour. We also had the 12-hour green dot with our 1-hour money flow starting to cross over into the green, creeping up towards that zero line. And we were looking for a potential continuation up through our range here into the value area high. And then we got that Trump news and absolutely smashed through the resistance and pushed up to our next value area low. And to be quite honest, guys, I was waiting for a long setup down here to see if we could get a sweep of these lows one more time, sweep some of that liquidity out, and then get a big reversal to the upside. Honestly, this is what we do see happen. We see those sweeps of the lows before getting massive moves to the upside, but we wound up getting that news and squeezing price to the upside. But it is funny how that Market Cypher money flow and green dot printing on the chart was able to let us know that we could see some more upside before the news actually came out. As I always say, show me the charts, I'll tell you the news every single time. But we did not get that SFP, so I'm just letting things rip to the upside. I'm remaining calm. I'm not letting emotions get the best of me. I'm not FOMOing into trades or anything like that. But I am going to be looking at the same levels we watched for last night on our live stream, right? We got our move up here. We knew we had key resistance at around $83,000. We also do have a lot of confluence up here as we looked at yesterday. We do have a daily level, daily naked point of control, a weekly naked point of control, and you guys could start to see a lot of this confluence that we have up here closer to $83,000. Now, this golden pocket is the golden pocket when pulled from the high here all the way to the bottom of this entire downtrend. So this is going to be the next major target for me personally. And as we have now blasted out of our lower volume profile, if we are able, we do have to be careful here because this is going to be resistance until proven otherwise. And with the news, guys, things could get crazy. We could keep pushing up here potentially, but be very careful because this is technically resistance until proven otherwise. But if we're able to get accepted back into this value area low and hold it as support, I will definitely be looking up towards this next level of resistance, really sitting between about 82,800 all the way up to about 83.8. And that is the next major level that I have on the chart. So this is 100% going to be the next target for me, especially if we can hold support here on that value area low. Now, if we get some kind of rejection here, we could potentially look for a long setup on a higher low. But again, I am remaining calm and sitting on my hands, waiting for this price action to develop a little bit more. But very simply put, if we could hold $81,200, the next level I will be looking at is going to be that golden pocket zone, which is also confluent with our range POC from this local volume profile. So at the end of the day, if we do get up there, we will be looking for shorts. Now understand, guys, if we do not get the rejection at this golden pocket zone, we have a ton of liquidity sitting above this daily, right? Pretty much once we break above these highs at about 83.7, we do have a ton of liquidation sitting there, which could give us that push into that liquidity, a fast wick through those liquidations into our next key levels of resistance. And that would make this target number 2. This zone between about 83 to 84,000 is the next local target. And then if we could flip that level, expect those liquidations to get filled very quickly to potentially push us all the way into this next resistance level. And this is definitely going to be an area where I will also be looking for scalp shorts with the premium Discord in case we get some kind of a pullback. And you could see this liquidity, guys, sitting on the heat map in all of its glory. You could see it starts here at about $84,500. And you guys could see that does live right above these equal highs here. And there is even liquidity above that daily as well. So if we do push above that level, be careful because we could potentially continue to squeeze to the upside into that next key resistance zone. So for me personally, I am sitting on my hands, guys. When we get moves like this off of news, unless you are making decisions down here to long based off the money flow alone, which I typically don't do, I needed to see the sweep of that low. I didn't get it. I don't take the trade. And like I said, that is 100% a win in my book. I asked myself this question: did I stick to my rules? If the answer is yes, I count that as a win because those are the skills that you need to develop to continue to make money trading these markets instead of just jumping in on massive pumps, hoping that it continues up. Sometimes you'll get lucky and make some money, but for me personally, I like to see those actual trade setups and make my decisions off actual data. But the question is the low in? in here, guys, and it's a little bit hard to say, right? The 90-day pause on the tariffs is definitely a bullish event, but again, with this kind of news, things could get very volatile. But with the 1-hour money flow crossing over into the green, the 16-hour green dot, the 12-hour green dot, and the 45-minute money flow looking to cross into the green here as well. Even if we get little rejections, we could potentially anticipate a continuation of this uptrend over the next couple of days. But we're going to have to let this news settle down and see what happens. Now, if we come on over to the higher time frames, guys, one thing I don't hate here is the fact that we do have this daily bullish divergence that we looked at on the live stream last night. Other than the money flow, I definitely do hate the money flow at this moment, but you can see we are potentially going to continue to print bullish divergences here as we continue to put lower lows in on price into our weekly naked point of control. We have those lower lows on price action with our higher lows on our momentum waves. And even on the 2-day, this was actually the bigger signal we were looking at. You have those nice lower lows on price, this nice higher low on your momentum wave with the VWAP rolling to the upside as well, looking to potentially print a green dot. And this is still going to be the bigger signal, guys. If this is at least going to be some kind of a significant low here, we could potentially look for that bull div to print to continue the bigger retracement to the upside. And when you look at this from a higher time frame perspective, although we do still have our 2-day money flow coming out, right, which means that we could potentially see a bigger retracement, but we have to look at it in the context of lower highs and lower lows to come until proven otherwise. This 2-day bull div, if it prints, could give us a bigger retracement up, which is pretty nice, at least for local price action. But again, be very careful out there, guys. With this news coming out just a little while ago, things are likely going to be very volatile. So please, if you're out there, use your stop losses. But in my opinion, the bullish signs on the chart right now are if we could get that 2-day bullish divergence, that would be a plus. Daily green dot is going to print before that, giving us these bull divs here. And we can also keep an eye on our 90-minute money flow. This will be the next market cipher signal I am watching personally to see if that continuation up is likely. If we get that 90-minute money flow crossover with the daily bull div and that 2-day bull div following closely behind, we may be able to see a continuation up here. But like I said, remaining calm, not forcing any trades. I am happy to watch price move without me if there was no setup to get in at the lows. And if we jump on over to Ethereum really quickly, guys, you can see that we did come down below our value area low locally, and we also had our macro 786 sitting here at about 1567. Now, please understand, guys, this is a major 786 that we would want to hold on the weekly time frame. And if we could get this pump to continue, this could potentially look pretty nice. This is the golden pocket 786 retracement pulled from the bear market lows all the way up to the highs here. And if we could close this weekly candle above that 786, that would be a good sign, in my opinion, and maybe able to at least save Ethereum in the shorter term for a complete collapse to the downside. Now, I'm not necessarily saying the bottom is definitely in here, but holding that 786 on the weekly might be a very nice thing to see. We actually saw Bitcoin do this back in 2019 and 2020, where we had the Fibonacci retracement from the lows of the bear market all the way up to our 2019 bear market rally high. In March, when we started that massive drop to the downside, it got very scary. But once Bitcoin came back up and reclaimed the 786 on the weekly, it was pretty much off into the races from there. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that's the case here, but Ethereum does remind me of getting that macro 786 retracement like we had on Bitcoin. And you can see here we also have a potential slight bullish divergence here on the 2-day for Ethereum, looking to print as well. VWAP coming up, looking to print that green dot. And we also have the green dot on the daily with our 90-minute money flow attempting to continue to the upside here. Money flow might lag a little bit here because this was off of some news, so money flow has to take some time to kind of catch up there, but we are getting that bounce up and we are approaching the value area low of our previous range, which is somewhat nice, right? Because if we could come up there, flip this value area low to support, and if this trend is going to continue up here, obviously we do have that 16-hour green dot on Ethereum as well. And if we take a look here at the 1-hour time frame, you can see we are starting to get that money flow crossover into the green. So if we're going to see those bullish market cipher B setups play out not only on Bitcoin but also Ethereum, the goal here is to flip this value area low at 1642. If we're able to do that, we may be able to continue that bigger move up towards our point of control at about 1851. This would be really nice to see Ethereum reclaim this local volume profile, and then at least we could look to maybe range around here for a little while. And even if we are going to get a bigger move to the downside, maybe we could get that little relief rally to the upside. And if we pull our golden pocket 786 here, you can see our 786 is confluent with that POC, so the local targets for Ethereum. If we're able to flip above that value area low, guys, we can look for the next retracement levels to be sitting here at the golden pocket between about 1756 and 1732. And then if we're able to flip above that, we can look to continue our journey into that 786 POC. And if we don't get the rejection there, guys, and we're able to flip that POC, we might be able to see that full fill of the volume profile. Again, assuming we have those market cipher B116 strategies lining up. So those are the local levels I'm looking at on Ethereum. We'll see if this ends up being some kind of like a fake news event or some kind of buy the rumor, sell the news event. But again, I am remaining patient, not only on altcoins, but also Bitcoin here. But I will say that money flow is looking good for a potential continuation up. And if not, we have our key levels that we are waiting for to take those next short positions. So right now, it is a game of patience. We're going to let this craziness kind of work itself out here, and then we will assess price action as it comes into our next key levels. And remember, if you guys want to know what discipline looks like, it looks like price going in the direction that you thought it was going to go, but you do not move a finger because you did not get your trading criterias met to enter a trade, and that is what will make you money over time in this market, not chasing pumps or chasing dumps. So guys, just be careful out there with this crazy news. I know sometimes it can hurt to watch price go up without you, but trading without a plan will always hurt you much more. So try to remain calm, control those emotions, and wait for those next high probability setups. That's all the time I got for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Frankie Candles out.
At the top of the class on the road.